Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, it is great to have you. And Bitcoin is getting ready for a huge move. In fact, I think it's getting ready to explode to either $14,000 or come back down to $10,000. Now, we can see the squeeze on both the volume and the price action of the candle chart itself, but there's a pretty good argument for both sides. So that's precisely what I want to talk about in today's video. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you guys stick around for the entire duration of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this guy, because I think we are getting ready for some very volatile times. So first things first, guys, I want to take a quick look at the volume before we dive into anything deep on the technical analysis of the candle chart itself. So very clearly over here, if we're looking at this on a one-day chart, we can see that while we did have great volume over here, we started swooping down, gained volume again recently, but again, we are on the move down right now on this volume, which is definitely a sign to me that while our price action is also squeezing up in here, while I'll explain in a second, our volume is also falling off, which goes hand in hand with the squeeze itself. So what this is telling me is, if I'm looking over here on a daily candle chart, and we can see this probably even better if we go to a 4-hour, is what we thought was going to be an ascending triangle actually failed, and what we saw was the breakdown of this ascending triangle back down below and actually retesting the former support, now turned resistance, and what looking like we could very well have a rejection. Now, the big price squeeze comes here, and where we get the idea of either 14K or 10K is if we zoom out just a little bit more, like we were just looking at on the one day. It actually comes down to the fact of 14K is going to be not only the heart line and in fact the next real target for Bitcoin, but also this is where our major past previous swing high is from all the way back of June of 2019. So this makes sense that it is both the heart line and the previous swing high at the exact same time. And I think that this is a very, very common area that a lot of people are already looking at. Now, if we're looking to the downside, saying that, we are actually double topped over here on the 4-hour, we're coming up, retesting and rejecting former support, now turned resistance, and this is just going to be a continuation. I think that this 10K area is going to make a lot of sense. Why? Because it's not only the previous bottom or the previous top, not once, not twice, but 3 times on Bitcoin, but it's also the very bottom of this channel that we have already used several times as support. The first time being in March of 2020, and the second time being of July of 2020. So when this is happening, again, it would make sense for multiple reasons as to why Bitcoin would come down here. Now, if Bitcoin came down to this 10K area, I think something to note is that there is a ton of support everywhere around here, just above here, just below here. You have your EMAs, you have trendline support, you have previous tops now being current, what could be a current bottom. I mean, there are all forms of support in this area, no matter how you look at this. So I don't think that it would be too bad of a macro bearish thing to see Bitcoin come back down and test this area. I think that it is definitely possible, but again, I think that the trend is your friend here, and while we are seeing potentially signs of bearish activity, it is not confirmed yet. We have not confirmed that rejection off of previous support, and in fact, the MACD has already started to round to the upside, which we can see over here with this higher swing low candle being printed as we speak. Now, both of the oscillators are pointing downwards right now, but this one-day RSI on Bitcoin right here is in a very, very neutral territory. In fact, with it coming down all the way that it has, it really hasn't had a true and tried bounce on this RSI yet. And in fact, if we are going to see something top out, what will typically happen is it comes up here, forms a lower swing high, and then you see the real tank, and we haven't seen that yet. So that's another thing that's making me too skeptical of Bitcoin yet, is that again, we haven't even had the lower swing high on the RSI. And that's usually a sign of something that is reversing. Now, that's something I talked about on the live stream last night. Again, I do a live stream every Sunday night where I just go over a lot of the cryptocurrencies with the live audience. But if we're going to move this back to the 4-hour, I want to take a quick look at these guys as well. And in fact, what we can see is that Bitcoin did indeed bounce off of this oversold territory right down at near 30. Now, this is a significant level because we see Bitcoin bounce off of here all the time. I mean, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, 5, 6, and that's just on the chart we're looking at. I mean, it respects this level on a 4-hour time scale very well, and it also likes to do the flip side, as we can see, a fair amount. Now, when it does break out, that is a really good sign in that one direction, and we haven't seen this guy go down here in quite some time because we have been in an uptrend. We've been bullish. So With Bitcoin bouncing off of this level, this is a good sign to see. What I would like to see is a kind of break in the increasingly bearish activity in Bitcoin. I'd like to see some bullishness come back into this guy, bring the volume back, and I think that's exactly what we could be getting ready for. Again, as we can see that the volume is falling off, we're coming out of the weekend, we're coming into a new week here, and with that happening, we have a lot of potential for Bitcoin. Now, with that being said, I want to just be clear that, I think we are getting ready for a pretty volatile move over here on Bitcoin, and it's something that I think people just kind of need to be ready for, because one way or another, I think we're going to be either retesting, or we're going to be either testing 14K or retesting this 10K area in the not so distant future. I think that the signs are here that volatility is not too far away, and there's only so much longer that this thing can really move sideways in the way that it's doing over here. And in fact, if this kind of discontinues or discredits this support line that we have, or former support now turn resistance, that would be a really good case for the bulls. But of course, we have to break through this area, as I'll highlight right over in here. This is really an area that we need to break to and get back up above this. What is this, around 12,100? We need to really break above that 12,100 area. So that is the gist of this video. Again, big things I believe are coming for Bitcoin. Get ready for a volatile time. EMAs look like they're flattening back out. We talked about how they were pointing downwards. Now they're pointing, a little bit upwards, significantly more bullish than they were last night. That's for sure. We have seen some bulls come in here. Let's just hope that we don't get rejected from this previous support and now turn resistance. Again, I've said that a lot this video, but this is a pivotal point for Bitcoin, and I think where it decides, I guess really, where it wants to go next. Is that 10K? Is that 14K? I think, again, we'll find out here in the not so distant future, but that's going to go ahead and wrap this video, guys, up. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like, drop a comment. I love hearing what you guys have to say, and just being able to talk to you guys and discuss things in the comment section down below. If you guys really enjoyed the video, share it with someone that maybe needs to hear this or would enjoy hearing something like this. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.